Today we're doing page 59 and 60. 59 and 60. Romans 3:23 says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." That's all boys, all girls, all men, all women, all teachers, everybody has sinned. And we all fall short of the glory of God. But there's good news, and I'll tell you about that later. But we're going to continue on with our math right now. We're going to go ahead and look at class practice number 1. It tells us to find the products. And just in review, the products are the answers to a multiplication problem. Okay, so remember we're going to be doing our spray here. We'll do 2 times 2, and then 2 times 4, and then 2 times 3. And then we'll look at our tens place of our 7, and we'll do 7 times 2, 7 times 4, 7 times 3. Let's go ahead and get started. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times 3 is 6. Now we'll go to our tens place, which means we got to start with the 0 right there. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry a 1. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29. And 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2, 23. We're going to add up our numbers now. 8 plus 4 would be 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. Plus 9 more would be 16. 1 plus 3 is 4. And bring down the 2. We need to put a comma there. And we get 24,624. B. Do 7 times 5, that's 35. 7 times 0 is 0, plus 3 more is 3. And 7 times 6 would be 42. Let's go ahead and erase the number we had at the top when we carried. And now we do our tens place. So we'll put a 0 here. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 more would be 1. And 2 times 6 is 12. Now we can add up our partial products here. 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 0 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. 4 plus 2 is 6. And then 1. So we got to put a comma there every 3 numbers. And we get 16,335. C. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. 5 times 8 is 40. We need to erase the number that we carried. And now we do our tens place, and we need to put a 0 here. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry the 4. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 4 more is 13. 9 times 8 is 72, plus 1 more is 73. And we can now add our numbers. 5 plus 0 will be 5. 7 plus 5 will be 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 0 plus 3 would be 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. And then we just bring down that 7. We need to have a comma every 3 numbers. 77,425. D. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 3 more would be 43. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 more, 24. And then I'm going to erase my numbers. I want you to do the same. Any numbers that you carried, get them off. And now we do our tens place. We need to start with the 0. 2 times 6 would be 12. Carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 more, 17. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. Let's add up our partial products. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 2 is 5. 4 plus 7 is 11. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 9 is 12. So we get 12,150. E. 8 times 7 would be 56. 8 times 9 is 72, plus 5 more would be 77. 8 times 9 again, 72 plus 7, 79. Let's go ahead and erase any numbers that we have at the top. Now, we start with a 0, and we know that it's 1 times all these numbers, so we can just write those numbers down. It'll be 7, 9, and 9. Let's add up our partial products. 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 9 more would be 19. Carry another 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. Plus 9 would be 17. And so our answer will be 17,946. Okay, now we're starting to work with the 3-digit factors. Remember, our factors are the two numbers, the 132 and the 683. Those are our factors that we put together to get a product, to get an answer. So we're going to look at these two factors here. And we'll do just as we've been doing. 3 times 2, then 3 times 3, then 3 times 1. And then we'll do our tens place of 8 times 2, 8 times 3, and 8 times 1. And then we'll do our sixth place, not our sixth place, our hundreds place of 6 times 2, 6 times 3, and 6 times 1. Let's start with the beginning. 3 times 2 would be 6. 3 times 3 would be 9. 3 times 1 would be 3. Now we're going to do our tens place, so we need to start with a 0. 8 times 2 would be 16. Carry a 1. 8 times 3 would be 24, plus 1 more would be 25. Carry a 2. And 8 times 1 would be 8, plus 2 more would be 10. Now, for our third place value, our hundreds place, we need to begin with 2 zeros. In our tens place, we begun with 1 0, now we do 2 zeros. Okay, 6 times 2 would be 12. We carry a 1. 6 times 3 would be 18, plus that 1 would be 19. Carry a 1 again. And 6 times 1 plus 1 would be 7. Now we're going to add up our 3 partial products that we came up with so that we can get our product, our answer to a multiplication problem. 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 6 plus 0 is 15. 1 plus 3 plus 5 would be 9, and then plus 2 would be 11. 1 plus 0 plus 9 would be 10. And 1 plus 7 would be 9. And so our answer will be 90,156. Okay, let's do G. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. So we put a 0 and carry our 4. 8 times 9 would be 72, plus the 4 would be 76. Now we need to put a 0 here because we're working in our tens place. And we're going to do 1 times all of this, so it's just that same number. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 9 is 9. And now we're working with our hundreds place. We need to put 2 zeros. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 9 is 9. Now we have our 3 partial products, and we're going to come up with our product now by adding these up. 8 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 1 plus 0 is 1. 6 plus 5 plus 1 is 12. So we'll put the 2, carry a 1. 1 plus 7 would be 8. Plus 9 would be 17. And plus 5 would be 22. We'll put a 2, carry a 2. 2 plus 9 would be 11. And so our answer is 112,218. H. 5 times 2 is 15. Carry a 1. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus that 1, 21. Carry a 2. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 2 would be 17. Now we're going to work with our tens place, so we need to put a 0 there. 7 times 2 is 14. Carry a 1. 7 times 4 is 28, plus that 1 would be 29. Put a 9 here, carry a 2. 7 times 3 is 21, plus the 2, 23. And now we do our hundreds place, which means we need to do 2 zeros. 5 times 2 is 10, so we'll put a 0 and carry a 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus that 1 would be 21. Carry a 2. And 5 times 3 would be 15, plus the 2 would be 17. We now add up our partial products. 5 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 7 plus 9 would be 16. Carry a 1. 1 plus 1 plus 3 would be 5. Plus 1 would be 6. 2 plus 7 would be 9. And then 1 comes down. And I see where I messed up. You might have caught it already. But this should be, when I initially did our ones place of 5 times 2, I should have had a 0 here. And if you caught it, good job. I need to erase that and fix it. I was just testing you guys. And if you caught it, you passed. So then that would make this bottom number a 0 here. Okay, we'll do I. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry a 1. 5 times 7 would be 35, plus that 1, 36. Carry a 3. 5 times 6 is 30, plus that 3, 33. We'll put a 0 now that we're moving in our tens place. 9 times 2 is 18. Carry the 1. 9 times 7 is 63, plus that 1, 64. And 9 times 6 would be 56. Nope, 54. Plus the 6 would be 60. Okay, now we're doing our hundreds place, so we need to put 2 zeros. 8 times 2 is 16, carry the 1. 8 times 7 is 56, plus that 1, 57, carry the 5. And 8 times 6 is 48, plus the 5 would be 53. Okay, now we add up all of our partial products. 0, 0, 0, 0. 6 plus 8 would be 14, carry our 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 4 is 8, plus 6 is 14, carry another 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 7 would be 11. Hey kitty. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 3 more would be 10, carry a 1, and we have 6. So our answer is 611,440, and circle your answers. Okay, let's look at our story problems here. It says Faith Christian Academy bought 15 rose bushes. Each rose bush cost $9.95. And what was the cost of the rose bushes in all? So what you need to do is take your $9.95 and multiply it by 15. And that will be your answer to that problem. And then our second story problem, it says Tamara has 4 violin lessons each month. The cost of all 4 lessons is $48. At that rate, what is the cost per lesson? For this one, you need to take your $48 and you need to divide it by 4 to figure out what it would be for each lesson. Okay, and you're going to do the rest on your own, except I'm going to do number 6 on the back side with you guys. And this is kind of new for us still, the averaging. So the first thing we need to do when we average is add up our numbers that we have. 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 1 more would be 8. So this is number 6 on the back side, 6a. I'm adding up the numbers. Then 0 plus 7 plus 1 is 8. I'm going to put my decimal point here. Three plus 6 is 9, plus 2 more is 11. So now I take the $11.88 and I divide it by 1, 2, 3. There's 3 numbers. So I divide it by 3 to figure out the average. 3 does not go into 1, but it does go into 11. 3 goes into 11 3 times. And then you put your decimal up there. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract, you get 2. Bring down the 8. 3 goes into 28 9 times. 3 times 9 is 27. Subtract, you get 1. Now you bring down the 18. And how many times does 3, how many times does 3 go into 18? 6 times. So, and put your dollar sign here. You have your decimal already, and your average is $3.96. Hopefully you make it much neater than Mr. Fitt did. Okay, same thing here. You need to add up all your numbers. And whatever you get, you then divide that number by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You divide it by 6 because there were 6 numbers being used. Okay? And to help you with the rest of the math, I'm going to put this on the screen for you. It should make it a lot easier. The alphabet. What do you think is the most common letter used in the alphabet? What letter do you think is used more than any other letter in the English language? There's one letter here that's used more often than any other letter. I'll give you a hint. It's either going to be S, M, H, or E. One of those letters is used more often than any other letter in the English alphabet. Stand up if you think it's S. And then go ahead and sit back down. Stand up if you think it's M. And then sit back down. Stand up if you think it's A. And then sit back down. And stand up if you think it's E. And then sit back down. Okay, the letter that is used more than any other letter in the English alphabet is the letter E. E is used more than any other letter in the English alphabet. Now I'm going to kind of do the same thing and ask you, what letter do you think is the least used out of all the letters in the English alphabet? Which one do you think is used less than any other? Now your choices will be Y, V, Z, or Q. Y, V, Z, or Q. And you need to decide which one you think is used less, the least out of all the letters. In all the English words, this letter is used the very least. Go ahead and raise your hand if you think it's Y. Go ahead and raise your hand if you think it's V. Go ahead and raise your hand if you think it's Z. And go ahead and raise your hand if you think it's Q. Okay, the letter that you are least likely to find being used in all the English words is Q. Q. So Q, and then E is the most often used. Q is the least often used, and E is the most often used. I'm going to show you a sentence right now, and I want you to see if you can tell something that is special about this sentence. It's kind of a weird sentence, but there's something special about it. Jackdaws love my big sphinx of quartz. Now I'll tell you a little bit what it is about this, but why don't you go ahead and start working on your math right now. And unless you think you know what it is, you can look at this, but I'm going to tell everybody here in a couple of minutes what it is, what makes this sentence special. Go ahead and start working on your math right now. I'll start working on my math too. Was anybody able to figure out why this sentence? What was special about this sentence? I'm going to show you now what it was. It's the shortest English sentence that has yet been devised to include all the letters of the alphabet. Now, maybe somebody could come up with a shorter sentence using all the letters of the alphabet, but that sentence is the shortest one that anyone has come up yet that has all the letters of the alphabet in it. Here, I'll prove it. Okay, so we have the J here. Let's see. Let's go through them all. We have the J here. Okay, I'll cross out J up on the top. A here. Cross out A. C here. Cross out C. K right there. Cross out K. D, so it has the letter D right there. R, I'll cross out the letter R. A again, we've already crossed that out. W, cross out the letter W. S, cross out the letter S. L, cross out the letter L. O, cross out the letter O. V, cross out the letter V. E, cross out the letter E. M, cross out the letter M. Y, cross out the letter Y. B, cross out the letter B. I, cross out the letter I. G, cross out the letter G. S, we've already had. P, cross out the letter P. H, cross out the letter H. I, already been crossed out. N, cross out the letter N. X, cross out the letter X with an X. And O, we've already had. F, cross out the letter F. Q, cross out the letter Q. U, cross out the letter U. A, we've already used. R, we've already used. T, cross out the letter T. And then last, Z. And we've used all the letters of the alphabet in this sentence. So I kind of wonder though, is it possible? It says here, it is the shortest English sentence yet devised to include all the letters of the alphabet. I wonder if you guys could come up with an even shorter sentence, because I know you guys are smart. I know you can finish the rest of the math on your own. You can do it. You guys are amazing.